Rod Stewart's Reason to Believe at number 20, halfway up my fantasy playlist, October 17th, 1993. How you doing? It's Mr. DJ on a Monday morning, October 2018, going back 25 years on this fantasy playlist. We've got Rod Stewart from the Unplugged Seated album, Reason to Believe, originally from Every Picture Tells a Story, Rod Stewart's breakthrough album here in the States. Now, here's the thing about the original version of Reason to Believe. The original version was the A side in 1971. The B side, Maggie May. Reason to Believe went to number 62 on Billboard's Hot 100, but Maggie May soared, the B side soared to number 1. And this happened so many times in the past where you remember those old 45s, you got your A and your B side, and the B side becomes the hit. Reason to Believe, the original version by Tim Hardin. Tim Hardin wrote it. He was a songwriter. He was based at Greenwich Village. Put it on an album. Tim Hardin won in 1966 and was released on the Verve record label. Wasn't a hit, but gosh dog it, tons of people covered this record. You won't believe we got a list of marquee names that covered this record, including Cher, Ricky Nelson, Bobby Darin, Marianne Faithfull, Johnny Cash, Jackie DeShannon. The Carpenters did a version off their second album, Close to You, in 1970, and then we got Rod Stewart's version in 1971, and then redid it when he did the unplugged version. I believe it was MTV. And the second time around, Reason to Believe, the unplugged version, did a little bit better. Went to number 18 or 19 on Billboard's Hot 100. Rod Stewart goes back. Boy, I tell you, he played with the legendary bluesman, Long John Baldry, back in the mid-60s. The Hoochie Coochie Man, and there was Steam Packet. And trading lead vocals with Long John Baldry, legendary blues man from England. He was called Long John because he was 6'7", basketball player size, could have played some basketball. Long John Baldry. But Rod Stewart had a dispute with him. He left Steam Packet, parted ways with Long John Baldry. He joined the Jeff Beck Group. He sang on a couple of albums by the Jeff Beck Group. We're talking about the legendary Jeff Beck, the guitarist with the Yardbirds banging away on Shapes of Things, rocking and rolling. The Jeff Beck was pretty popular here in the States, and they toured. Rod Stewart and the Jeff Beck Group, they toured here in the States. 1968, they did a concert. It was at the Fillmore East in New York City, and Rod Stewart had stage fright. This is with the Jeff Beck Group now. This is 1968. Rod Stewart had stage fright. He sang the first song that night. He sang it from backstage. Legend has it that he was hiding behind the amplifiers. Of course, he's come a long way since then, Rod Stewart. And speaking of Long John Baldry, he did team back. Rod Stewart did team back up with Long John Baldry. Rod Stewart and Elton John produced an album by Long John Baldry in 1971 called It Ain't Easy. And Long John Baldry, now Baldry had some hit records in England, but not so much here in the States. He did have one in 1971 that did not make top 40. It was such a long title, I can't remember the name of it. Something like You Can't Put No Boogie Woogie in the King of Rock and Roll. Very appropriate, though, for Long John Baldry. How about that? Rod Stewart, Long John Baldry, Tim Hardin, and Jeff Beck. Well, how about it? The legends come to the fore. Rod Stewart at number 20 on my fantasy playlist, June 17th. Well, I'm sorry, October 17th, 1993.